What if your birth chart was not just a personality map, but a diagnostic engine for consciousness? What if every planet showed the exact place where your shadow repeats, where your gift waits, and where your highest frequency is trying to awaken? Today, I am taking you into an actual Sidereal Hologenetic Gene Keys case study for Hannah. And I want you to listen not only as a seeker, but as someone who wants a deeper mirror for self-reflective work. Because this system is direct. The planet tells me the function, the sign tells me the style, the house tells me the life area, the Nakshatra tells me the emotional instinct, the gene key tells me the shadow, gift, and Siddhi pathway, and the line tells me how that frequency behaves in real life. That's why I call planetary placement the diagnostic engine. I'm not asking what will happen to Hannah. I am asking, where is consciousness trying to evolve through her? Hannah has a Capricorn ascendant in Shravana Nakshatra, carrying gene key 13.1, discord, discernment, empathy. This is the first doorway into the map. Capricorn rising gives seriousness, maturity, structure, responsibility, and the instinct to observe life before acting. Shravana is the nakshatra of listening, hearing, receiving knowledge, and translating wisdom. Gene key 13 is the key of the listener, the witness, the one who hears what others may not say directly. But at shadow frequency, this becomes discord. Hannah may absorb too many emotional signals, too many stories, too many expectations, too much noise from family, friends, society, or her own inner pressure. At gift frequency, this becomes discernment. She learns what to listen to and what not to carry. She learns that empathy is not emotional absorption. Empathy is clear listening without losing herself. So her embodiment says, I am here to become a refined receiver of truth. Now we enter the heart of the chart. Sun in Scorpio, Anuradha Nakshatra, 11th house, gene key 5.5, impatience, patience, timelessness. This is Hannah's life's work signature. The sun is identity, vitality, dharma, visibility, and conscious purpose. Scorpio brings depth, loyalty, secrecy, emotional intensity, research instinct, and transformation. Anuradha adds friendship, devotion, alliances, diplomacy, and the long road of trust. The 11th house is networks, community, social circles, ambitions, recognition, income, and long-term desire fulfillment. So Hannah's life work does not unfold in isolation. It unfolds through people, groups, audiences, circles, networks, and communities. But Gene Key 5 begins with the shadow of impatience. This is impatience with timing, people, emotional processes, social progress, and the slow unfolding of destiny. In Scorpio, this can become intense. Why is this person not loyal? Why is this group not moving? Why is this truth not clear? Why is my life not opening faster? But the gift is patience. Hannah's power grows when she stops forcing timing. She becomes influential when she understands rhythm. She becomes magnetic when she stops pushing and begins attuning. Line 5 gives public projection. People may project onto her that she should solve, lead, fix, or answer. But her real task is not to rescue every group. Her task is to become a stabilizing frequency. At the highest level, Gene Key 5 becomes timelessness. She stops fighting the rhythm of life and becomes rhythm. Now look at the opposite point. Earth in Taurus, Rohini Nakshatra, 5th house, Gene Key 35.5, hunger, adventure, boundlessness. This is the evolution key, the growth challenge. Taurus wants beauty, value, comfort, sensuality, and embodiment. Rohini is artistic, fertile, magnetic, luxurious, emotionally creative, and growth-oriented. The 5th house governs intelligence, creativity, romance, children performance, learning, and self-expression. But Gene Key 35 begins with hunger. This may show as hunger for experience, beauty, recognition, romance, pleasure, creativity, or emotional aliveness. At shadow frequency, it can become boredom, craving, comparison, or constantly needing life to feel more exciting. But the gift is adventure, not recklessness, not endless thrill-seeking. Adventure means creative courage. It means saying yes to life without being enslaved by desire. So the sun says, be patient. The earth says, stay creatively alive. That is a powerful polarity. Do not rush destiny, but do not deaden your hunger for life. Now Hannah's moon. Moon in Aries, Ashwini Nakshatra, 4th house, Gene Key 24.4, addiction, invention, silence. The moon is the emotional body, instinct, memory, mother, private life, and inner security. Aries gives speed, heat, independence, impulse, and initiation. Ashwini is fast, healing, youthful, rescuing, and pioneering. The 4th house is home, mother, emotional foundation, and psychological safety. Gene Key 24 is the loop of the mind. The shadow is addiction, not only substance addiction, but mental addiction. Repeating the same thought, returning to the same question, replaying the same emotional moment. With Moon in Aries, the emotional body wants fast resolution. It does not enjoy waiting, but the gift is invention. Hana may receive sudden insights. She may connect patterns quickly. She may see what others miss after a period of inner processing. The Siddhi is silence. Her emotional body does not heal by explaining everything. It heals when the mind stops chasing the loop. Line 4 makes this relational, meaning emotional loops can be triggered through family, friendships, and belonging. Her contemplation is simple. Am I thinking clearly, or am I looping because I want emotional safety from someone else? Now we must look at the dominant engine in this chart, the Scorpio 11th house stellium, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus. This is not a small signature. The 11th house is social destiny, friends, networks, gains, audiences, community, social platforms, recognition, and fulfillment of long-term goals. Scorpio makes this field intense. Hannah's community karma will not be shallow. It involves loyalty, secrecy, emotional depth, betrayal tests, psychological bonding, and transformation. Mars in Scorpio, Anuradha 11th house carries Gene Key 34.3, force, strength, majesty. Mars is action, courage, desire, conflict, sexuality, and life force. In Scorpio, Mars is powerful, strategic, private, intense, and emotionally fearless. Anuradha adds loyalty and friendship, but also tests devotion. At shadow frequency, Gene Key 34 becomes force. Hannah may push too hard, react intensely, or feel powerful emotions in friendships and groups. If she cares deeply. If she fights completely. But the gift is strength. Strength is clean power, loyalty without control, courage without aggression. Line 3 means she learns through trial, friction, mistakes, and adaptation. At the highest frequency, this becomes majesty, power without the need to dominate. Jupiter in Scorpio, Anuradha 11th house carries Gene Key 9.2, inertia, determination, invincibility. Jupiter is wisdom, learning, teaching, prosperity, ethics, and expansion. In Scorpio, wisdom comes through depth, research, psychology, occult study, crisis, and hidden truths. In the 11th house, prosperity comes through networks and meaningful contribution. The shadow is inertia, difficulty starting or sustaining focus when the emotional field is heavy. The gift is determination. Small steps, steady effort, consistent attention. Line 2 gives natural talent. Hannah may not realize how gifted she is at deep focus once emotionally aligned. Venus in Scorpio, Jyeshta, 11th house carries Gene Key 11.2. Obscurity, idealism, light. Venus is love, beauty, attraction, pleasure, values, relationship, intelligence, and taste. Scorpio makes Venus intense, private, loyal, magnetic, and psychologically perceptive. Jyeshta adds seniority, secrecy, protection, respect, and emotional complexity. At shadow frequency, Gene Key 11 brings obscurity. Hannah may feel unclear about love, friendships, ideals, or social belonging. She may idealize people, groups, partners, or creative visions, then feel disappointed when reality is more complicated. But the gift is idealism, not fantasy, but inspired vision. The Siddhi is light. She can bring light into emotional complexity when she stops confusing idealization with truth. Now we enter one of the deepest karmic areas, Saturn and Ketu in Leo, 8th house. Saturn in Leo, Maga, 8th house carries Gene Key 59.1, dishonesty, intimacy, transparency. The 8th house is vulnerability, trauma, secrets, intimacy, occult knowledge, crisis, inheritance, and rebirth. Saturn here makes trust serious. Leo and Maga bring dignity, ancestry, pride, power, and lineage memory. Gene Key 59 is one of the strongest intimacy keys. The shadow is dishonesty, but this may not mean lying. It can mean withholding truth, hiding vulnerability, protecting the real self behind strength, silence, dignity, or control. The gift is intimacy. This is the ability to dissolve barriers with the right people, to be real, to allow safe closeness. Line 1 makes this foundational. Hannah cannot be rushed into trust. Trust must be built from the root. Ketu in Leo, Uttara Falguni, 8th house carries Key 6.5, conflict, diplomacy, peace. Ketu shows past life residue, detachment, spiritual memory, and inherited mastery. In the 8th house, this is deep. It suggests old karmic memory around intimacy, conflict, emotional contracts, hidden bonds, and power. The shadow is conflict. The gift is diplomacy. The Siddhi is peace. This means Hannah may sense conflict fields before others name them. But the growth is not to avoid conflict. The growth is to become diplomatic without suppressing truth. Together, Saturn 59 and Ketu 6 say, the deepest healing is truthful intimacy with clean boundaries. Now let us look at the future intelligence axis. Rahu and Uranus in Aquarius, second house. The second house is speech, voice, family values, food, money, self-worth, and stored resources. Aquarius makes this futuristic, unconventional, reformist, technological, and independent. Rahu in Aquarius, Purva Bhadrapada, second house carries gene key 36.5, turbulence, humanity, compassion. Rahu creates hunger around voice, truth, wealth, values, and unconventional knowledge. At shadow frequency, gene key 36 becomes turbulence. Speech may carry storms. Family values may feel unstable. Self-worth may move through intensity. But the gift is humanity. The highest expression is compassion. Her voice is meant to awaken, but not wound. Uranus in Aquarius, Shatabisha, second house carries gene key 63.6, doubt, inquiry, truth. This is one of the most important diagnostic placements. Uranus is higher mind, future intelligence, disruption, awakening, unconventional insight, and the pressure to break dead patterns. Aquarius amplifies intelligence, reform, technology, systems, and originality. Shatabisha adds healing, diagnosis, research, hidden systems, astrology, medicine, and deep investigation. The shadow is doubt. Hannah may question everything: family beliefs, money patterns, speech, spiritual ideas, inherited values, even her own voice. But the gift is inquiry, not cynicism. Sacred questioning. Is this true? What is the pattern? What is hidden beneath the surface? Line 6 gives visionary maturity. Over time, this can become a truth-bearing voice. Not loud for attention. Clear, precise, future-facing. This is why planetary placement as diagnostic engine is so powerful. Uranus in the second does not just say unusual speech. It says, the voice must evolve from doubt into truth. Now let us bring in the estimated design profile, the prenatal layer, the unconscious body, the deeper hologenetic pattern. Hannah's estimated design sun in Leo, Purva Falguni, carries gene key 47.2, oppression, transmutation, transfiguration. This is radiance, the vitality field. The shadow is oppression. This can feel like pressure, heaviness, social expectation, mental compression, or carrying something unnamed. The gift is transmutation. Hannah's vitality improves when pressure is processed into meaning. She is not meant to suppress heaviness. She is meant to metabolize it into insight, creativity, teaching, healing, or wisdom. Design Earth in Aquarius, Shatabisha carries gene key 22.2, dishonor, graciousness, grace. This is purpose. Her deeper purpose is grace, but not passive sweetness. This is grace after intensity, grace after alienation, grace after feeling different, grace after learning that intelligence without softness becomes cold. This axis says pressure must become insight, and insight must become grace. Design Moon in Capricorn, Shravana carries gene key 13.3, discord, discernment, empathy. The listener key repeats. This confirms that Hannah's emotional design is deeply connected to hearing, receiving, remembering, and discerning human stories. Line 3 means she learns empathy through lived experience. Design Venus in Leo, Maga carries gene key 59.5, dishonesty, intimacy, transparency. This repeats the natal Saturn gene key 59. When a key repeats, it becomes a major life contemplation. For Hannah, intimacy is central, not surface romance, not performance, real intimacy, real transparency, real truth. The heart wound may involve being seen, admired, projected upon, or expected to perform confidence. The gift is not to become more impressive. The gift is to become more intimate. Design Mars in Virgo, Uttara Falguni. 12th house carries gene key 46.6, seriousness, delight, ecstasy. This is the core vocation sphere, the wound that becomes calling. The shadow is seriousness. In the 12th house, this can be hidden. Private heaviness, difficulty relaxing into the body, the feeling that life must be managed, perfected, fixed, or controlled. But the gift is delight. This is important. Hannah's vocation is not only intellectual, it is embodied. She is here to rediscover joy, body trust, rhythm, creativity, beauty, and the sacredness of being alive. The Siddhi is ecstasy, the body becoming a doorway to the divine. Design Jupiter in Libra, Vishaka carries gene key 43.1, deafness, insight, epiphany. This is the culture sphere, how prosperity flows through the right people and environment. At shadow frequency, deafness means not being heard or not hearing others. But the gift is insight. The Siddhi is epiphany. Line 1 says her insights must be researched, structured, and grounded before they become useful. Design Saturn in Cancer, Ashlesha carries Gene Key 4.6, Intolerance, Understanding, Forgiveness. This is stability. Cancer and Ashlesha bring emotional memory, family patterns, protection, secrecy, healing, and psychological sensitivity. The shadow is intolerance, mental judgment, or emotional defensiveness. The gift is understanding. The Siddhi is forgiveness. So Hannah's stability does not come from controlling emotion. It comes from understanding emotion. Now let me simplify the entire map. Hannah's sidereal hologenetic map shows 6 major patterns. First, she is a listener and discerner. Ascendant and Design Moon both carry Gene Key 13. Her system receives subtle information from people and environments, but she must learn discernment or she carries too much discord. Second, her life work is timing. Sun Gene Key 5 says impatience must become patience. She is not here to force destiny. She is here to align with rhythm. Third, her evolution requires creative adventure. Earth Gene Key 35 says hunger must become meaningful experience. Desire must become creativity, not craving. Fourth, her voice is future-facing. Rahu and Uranus in Aquarius' second house show a karmic voice. Doubt must become inquiry. Turbulence must become compassion. Speech must become truth with humanity. Fifth, intimacy is a major portal. Repeated Gene Key 59 says guardedness must become transparency. The real work is not looking strong. The real work is being real. Sixth, her deeper vocation is to turn pressure into grace. Design Sun 47 and Design Earth 22 show oppression becoming transmutation and dishonor becoming graciousness. This is why Sidereal Hologenetic Gene Keys mapping is so direct. It does not merely say you are Scorpio or you are Capricorn rising or you have Aquarius influence. It shows the exact consciousness pathway. Scorpio 11th house becomes impatience to patience, force to strength, inertia to determination, obscurity to light. Aquarius 2nd house becomes turbulence to compassion, doubt to truth. Leo 8th house becomes dishonesty to intimacy, conflict to peace. That is the power of this system. It shows where the shadow lives. It shows what the gift is. It shows how the soul is asking you to mature. For Hannah, the map is clear. Do not rush timing. Do not drown in emotional loops. Do not confuse intensity with truth. Do not let doubt become cynicism. Do not let social belonging cost authenticity. Do not let guardedness block intimacy. Do not let pressure remain unprocessed. Her path is patience, discernment, strength, inquiry, intimacy, compassion, delight, and grace. And for you listening right now, here is the deeper question. What if your repeated emotional pattern is not random? What if your relationship wound is a gene key doorway? What if your career confusion is not confusion, but a misread planetary placement? What if the thing you call your weakness is actually your gift waiting for correct mapping? This is why I work with Sidereal Hologenetic Gene Keys mapping. It gives you a direct mirror, not prediction, not superstition, not generic spirituality. A map. The planet shows the function. The house shows the life field. The nakshatra shows the instinct. The gene key shows the transformation pathway. And once you see that pathway, you stop asking what is wrong with me and you begin asking what is trying to evolve through me. That question changes everything. If you want a deep sidereal hologenetic gene keys map reading, one that works for you, one that reads your planetary placements as a diagnostic engine, one that reveals your shadow patterns, gift pathways, relationship themes, career intelligence, emotional design, and deeper soul growth architecture, get in touch with me. Because the right map does not tell you who to become. It shows you who you already are beneath the conditioning. And once you see that clearly, unconscious living becomes very difficult to continue.